purchasing and signing up on some of the things that's available. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Bigo Live, Tango, YouTube, or join. Then you also have a chance to go to Twit. You have an opportunity to go to Riverside FM, C2. All of them before you do it, they can do it. Needs to do again. Mac, thank you again. See, first one jumping on, give us a like. Thank you so much for supporting what we try to do, and we look forward to being able to get you on the show so you can share your thoughts as well. You have that opportunity as well. So as we move forward in our title, it's understanding one's self. Understanding oneself. Do you understand yourself? Do you understand what you need to do to make yourself better? You have to understand before you can do anything. There's self-awareness, self-assessment. It's something you have to really, really take time to look at. Last night we talked about self-assessment in relationships, but you have to do that in your everyday life. Last night, if you're having a toxic relationship with yourself, then you're going to have many toxic relationships. If you're struggling with loving yourself and doing the things that oneself should do for themselves, you're struggling around others. You're struggling with parents, with the family, your friends, any type of relationship. Because you're not comfortable within your own being comfortable in your own skin, understanding oneself. And we want to make sure we can define or give you some type of meaning to give us a clear understanding of when we talk about self. We have some great about self. Do we really understand self? Do we understand the meaning of self? We can be able to look at it and define it as the meaning of self having insight. We'll start right there. See, if you have insight about who and whom you are, you have a tendency to understand the things that you that kind of determines where you are, one's own behavior. See, when you understand and have insight about yourself, you understand your behavior. You know how you gonna react emotionally about things. You know how you're gonna get upset. You know whether you feel healing. So things that happen in the past true to come up in today. You know about yourself. You have to be observant where you're talking about your behavior. You might not think you're not doing anything through your behavior. So you might feel you got positive behavior, but you actually have negative behavior. So we have to kind of keep in mind our behaviors determine how we see oneself, how we see ourselves, and how we operate. Everything we put to make sure you understand yourself throughout life, self-love. Loving yourself. Do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? If you love yourself, that means you understand self. You're going to control and deal with things, your own actions and behavior before it gets ahead. Next thing is attitude. After that goes along, people have, they got a snake attitude and really ain't understand themselves. Now they're doing it because they don't quite understand oneself. So spend time projecting on others. Spend time trying to control others. Spend time to control a conversation using sign language. When things don't go that way, they get an attitude. They shame. They insult. They make you feel guilty, and they need to be right. Strengths. You need to know your strengths. If you're articulate well, that could be a strength. But even though you speak well, you challenge when you go in front of other people. That's a weakness. Understand your strength and your weakness. Let's get well-being. Ever take time and assess our well-being, starting with physical. We look at if we have a 30 and above BMI, we're obese. It leads to pre-diabetic diabetes, pre-challenges, pre-stroke, because you understanding yourself. This is a weakness. But if you decide to have proper diet, exercise, you got a chance to have a stronger understanding, a positive understanding, and a strength. Understanding your strength and weakness means a lot. So it is the individual ability to say and know he or she is good at or needs improvement. You know what you're good at. You know what you need to improve on too. Self-understanding is one of the highest goals in psychology. Understanding oneself is a process of gaining self-awareness. To do that, you must self-assess yourself. That way you can identify your thoughts, feelings, motivation, strength, and weakness. All of this involves self-assessment. Self-awareness involves self-reflection, mindfulness, seeking feedback for the purpose of recognizing your unique value and how you interact with the world. You need to be self-aware. The only way to self-assess, you know, in your well-being physically and mentally, you know you have some challenges. So you move toward academically improving yourself so you can reach the altitude you want to be to reach to. You also know you must situations out here. You know when you're emotionally intelligent. You know when you're emotionally stable. You have a clear understanding of your emotional maturity. That allows you to emotionally connect with others. Makes you available emotionally for others. You know that by self-assessment. Do reflections. Do mindful and meditation. Seek feedback from family members, friends, co-workers, organization cohorts. Seek feedback. By that, again, you recognize your value. And you know how to interact with the world. See, this deeper self-knowledge leads to a greater authentic, genuine, better decision making, stronger relationships, increased confidence, and more fulfilling life. Let's think about deeper self-knowledge, self-assessment of ourselves, self-awareness, allow us to be authentic. Allow us to be genuine. We make better decisions when we're emotionally mature, emotionally stable. We make better decisions when we understand our strength and our weakness. We are inclined to go into stronger, long-lasting, healthy relationships when we assess ourselves. When we do that, we see the strong parts about us and we also see the weak parts of us. But we know the strong overshadow the weak. That gives us increased confidence. By doing these things, we can live a fulfilled peace, joy, love, and happiness. So, understanding ourselves to experience positive thoughts, great feelings, always motivated, seeing and our weakness, and turn our weakness into a strength. We have to be mindful where we can seek feedback from others so we can recognize our values. Helps us to function positively in this world. So we ask, what self-understanding look like? See, when you assess yourself, now you understand yourself. Let's see how and some things that relates to self-understanding. First of all, knowing your core values. What are your core values? I need for you to hit the like buttons today. Last night we had over 5,000 likes. Let's make it bigger today. Let's outdo that. So I need for you to hit the like button. Give a shout out to Cora Hendricks. Thank you, Cora. Time to jump in here and be a part of this. Knowing your core values. Recognizing the principles that guide your choices and your action. That's your value. Knowing your core values. Identify your strengths and your weakness. That's how clear self excel at, or what you excel or you do good at, and where you need improvement. You must be able to recognize this. You must be able to identify. Then you need to use the thought process and think about it. How it can motivate me by being able to identify my strength and my weakness. Then I can look at where I having a favorite. She'll put themselves in a position to have a favorable outcome in life. You want to have a better job? You got to get more training. You got to have more, have the competency in that academic area of training to be able to do it. So you have to identify your strength and your weakness. Understanding your emotions. You don't understand your emotions and understand what emotions can be identified as, then you operate on feelings. Feelings is just one emotion. You're going to operate on anger. You're going to operate on the lack of control. Your behavior will not be good because you don't understand. You must be emotionally intelligent. and stable. You cannot connect with someone emotionally when you are not strong or you're not mature or stable emotionally. So understanding your emotions, recognizing how that's knowing how feelings arise in different situations and how they influence your behavior. Recognizing patterns, behavior being out of control, behavior wise is a pattern. You recognize what causes you to be out of control. So recognize a pattern that deals with your behavior or your emotional response and their causes. If they're real current, you have some challenges. Seek professional help, counseling, a therapist, psychotherapist, a psychiatrist. Seek the help you need so you can be successful as an individual. Recognizing your patterns. Recognize what triggers you. What triggers you to go off simply because someone said something to you? Are we walking around on eggshells that we can't say anything to it unless they get ballistic, listed? They want to berate you. If you don't agree with them, they want to berate you, embarrass you, shame you, insult you, make you feel guilty for your choices. Because you know what? They need to be right. But that's a pattern. It's going to reoccur for them. Until they heal, they will not function in any setting except with themselves. Defining your purpose. And you know your purpose in life. Do you know? And not you have to define your purpose. Having a sense of what matters to you. That's how you define your purpose. Having a sense of what matters to you and what your goals are. You can define your purpose that way. This allows us to understand what the idea of oneself, how we act, look and what it's like. Why is understanding yourself important? Why do you need to? Let's go back and look at some of the things we already shared. Recognizing what principles guide your choices and activities. That's why you have to understand why oneself is important. Identifying your strength and weakness helps you have a clear sense of what you excel at and what you need to improve. Recognizing, defining your purpose. So as we look at oneself importance, being able to understand it, the importance of understanding oneself, or first, being genuine, being authentic, or authentic, align yourself up with the truth rather than being swayed by some external pressure. authentic and genuine are the two that ties in together. Your genuine self. Not letting someone sway you or drive you or take you down a track that you're not planning on. Be authentic. Improve well-being. We talked about the ways. And if you can improve your physical, mentally, emotionally, spiritual, financial, social, and psychological, increase happiness and self-compassion. Happiness and joy. Residuals, never giving up. Self-compassion. I understand how I feel inside, and I have compassion for you, and I have compassion for myself. Stronger relationships, enhancing emotional intelligence. To have a strong relationship, you must be emotionally stable, emotionally mature. That way you can emotionally connect the person you want to have in your life. It allows you to be emotionally intelligent. A better understanding of using your interactions, better understanding of your interactions. That is a strong relationship that's enhanced by emotional maturity. Better decision making. When your well-being is in a positive place, you're going to make better decisions. Says they are more aligned with your values and your long-term goals. That's better decision making. Growth. If you improve your well-being, you are authentic and doing work on a stronger relationship with family members, friends, your workplace. In your workplace, you're gonna experience personal growth. Make better decisions. You experience personal growth because you are now capitalizing on your strength and your weakness. You're capitalizing on your working constructively on area of growth. That's your personal growth. You're going to be able to cultivate self-understanding. Our title for today's show is Understanding Oneself. This is WBSW Radio. I'm Michael Rodney D. Smith, excited about coming before you. This is our Knox podcast, and we just want to bring some real information to you, and hopefully decipher you and use it or throw out whatever you can use so you can be the best version of yourself. That's why we want you to be able to cultivate self-understanding. You must practice mindfulness and meditation. See, take time to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Take a journal. Write down your thoughts, feelings, experience, gain clarity of what's going on with you and how it relates to your value so you can be self-aware. Seek trusted feedback. Don't just ask anybody for the feedback. Ask people you trust for their honest perspective on your behavior and your impact. Engage in new experiences, try new activities, and reveal aspects of your personality. Spend time alone. Call me time. Create a space for reflection and introspection. Ask yourself questions. See, regularly consider questions about your values, beliefs, passions, and reactions. Ask yourself those questions on a regular basis about your values, your beliefs, your passions, and your reaction. So I need to know myself. Why does it matter? See, if you know yourself, you can know yourself better. You know yourself, you can do better by personal growth. Also, you can understand why knowing this is better because it's simple as knowing which medicine will swallow you. Or where to put gas versus oil in our vehicle. And that leads to some of the biggest reasons why knowing yourself, responding more effectively to life, gaining deeper understanding for ourselves helps us to be responsible, which means we can respond to life in a positive way rather than reacting. See, deeper introspection prevents us from drowning in difficult situations and emotions. It allows us to make wiser and more thoughtful decisions. Like it is the difference between being complete and having the ability to notice when we feel stressed and then court correct to be more grounded and balanced. Once we understand the difference of consuming stress or feeling stress, there's a difference that allows us to be grounded once we understand that we need to know the difference. We need to have a conversation. Not letting unresolved emotion unwittingly dictate our action. See, without even realizing it, many of us hold on to anger, emotion, grief, emotion, shame, emotion, and other emotions that comes out in sometimes surprising and confusing way. A lot of time we lash out at our loved ones, which drives a wedge between us. We may cling to toxic habits and people. We may avoid taking an exciting project, fearing failure, humiliation. It's like stay in a relationship or a marriage, you're afraid that you're going to fail. So you don't, you feel like you're going to be continuously humiliated. See, discovering and understanding buried emotion. Do you have buried emotion? It's deep down inside you. Once we understand it, it helps us back into the driver's seat and navigates our lives so we can be successful, have favorable outcome, create the life we truly want. Knowing ourselves also helps us create a more meaningful life. Because when you understand your true yearnings and core values and the process, your emotion, you can take action that build a authentic life, fulfilling life. So we have to learn more about ourselves. This is how we learn more about ourselves. There are many different ways to immerse yourself in self-discovery. From exploring activities that resonate with you to explicating deep-seated emotions. First, you have to examine your reactions. Become aware of your physical self and how it responds to your world. Especially when there's invaluable information about your deeper inner self. See, our body holds insight too. Our body holds insight, our inner self, often without cognitive awareness. We have time to see a strong physical sensation instead of reacting right away. Some people call it guts. Intuition. Strong physical sensation inside you. You need to pause. Pause for a moment and perhaps ask yourself these following questions. What exactly am I feeling in my body? When I shift my attention to my physical self, what feelings do I notice? What was said, what happened just before my reaction? What might feel familiar from the past? What do I need and how would I like to be heard? This leads us to keeping a dream journal. See, our dreams are often mysterious or just plain weird. But that's actually the point. See, consciously allowing space and time to that which you may not fully understand can be powerful. We don't understand. If you allow some time to pause and think about it, it can be powerful. But you know what? It's a way to gain deeper knowledge of yourself. See, to keep a dream journal, put a notepad and pencil on your nightstand. It is said a lot of authors have a notepad everywhere throughout the house. And when it hits them, that conscious state of knowledge hit them, they write it down. So put a notepad and pen on your nightstand. Jot that down what you remember as soon as you wake up. Make a list of what happened, how you felt, what you thought, and any specific details, no matter how small or seamless, meaningless. Reflect on any connection between a dream and your current or past feeling or situation, or any pattern, anything that emerged over time. Continue with that journal. Keep it up to date, because journaling is, in general, process of sifting through weeds of the mind, bringing what is below the surface of our awareness into the light. That's what journaling is all about. So, as you continue to journal your thoughts, you may want to use some of these prompts. Right now, I'm feeling excited. Today, I can't stop thinking about. I wish I didn't have to. Today, I'm struggling. I close my eyes. This easily comes to my mind. These are some things you ought to put as prompts in your journal. That way you can be very successful. Detect your drains and pick me ups. Whatever sucking all your energy out of you, you got to check and recognize that. Then whatever picks you up and keep you excited, head up high, make that. To first use your self-knowledge of deeply satisfied days, you must list your activities. That allows you to recharge yourself like the best version of yourself. Let's make sure we never overcommit activities or do people pleasing thing that weighs you down. Meditation is important. It's another way. So you can accomplish your goal in life. Meditation. This is simply sitting with yourself. Meditate regularly, even if it's just for a few minutes. This can allow for you and help you reach reward. If you're new to meditation, it might be helpful to you to try a guided practice. A meditation app. Start. Self-compassion guide dealing with meditation. Draw someone who got a sketch, a stick figure. To draw out how you're feeling. Where is your emotions? Focus on your frustration. You can address them when you focus on them. Make them a priority. Why it's not exactly to explore negative solution, negative situation or feeling, there are very moments, or these very moments can provide a wealth of frustration or frustrating circumstance or painful feeling arises. Jot down what happened. Write down what happened and what thought came up. That is our journaling process. But to wrap this up, ask yourself these questions. What is this moment here to teach me? We're talking about understanding what's happening right now. Can it teach me something? What old patterns I might be enacting? Something triggering me to react that way. I am letting fear and shame determine what I do. Let's remember, understanding oneself requires us to take the opportunity to detect what's draining us and what picks us up. Picture yourself being in a perfect day. Picture yourself. Keep a journal. Put it beside your bed with a pencil and pen. This is called your dream journal. Something tells you inside you, no. Just don't go. Continue to think about being yourself. So it matters. Knowing yourself matters. So we will be. The meaning says that understanding is having insight to one's own behavior, attitude, strength, and weakness. It's an individual to say and know what he or she is good at or need improvement. You know. Understanding oneself, again, is the process of gaining self-awareness by identifying your thoughts, feelings, motivation, emotions, your strength, and weakness. Self-reflect. Seek feedback. If you're able to do these things, it deepens your self-knowledge that leads to greater genuine and authentic situations. Decision making. Take time to pause, you can make better decisions. You may not be in a relationship now, but you will be in a relationship because you'll have the goal to get a favorable outcome. That leads to a more healthy and fulfilled life. Today we focus on understanding oneself on WBSW Radio, the number one internet station. I'm D. Smith, and this is not podcast, real and raw information to you. It was good coming before you today. We're going to be jumping back in the game tomorrow because we're going to be focusing on some sports. So excited about the great opportunity to be able to do that. Of course, normally the first day of the month, we normally will do a show on the first, we're going to rotate to the next one. So we truly thank you for supporting. This is our 8th year. This past September 27th, 2017 was our first broadcast. And now in 2025, 8th-year anniversary. Thank you for supporting us. You can do it without each and every one of y'all. Make sure you hit a like button before you leave. If you're still on, I need you to hit the like button. We want to get quite a few like buttons. It's a pleasure being here. I tell each and every one of you all I love you from my heart. Okay, from my heart. So truly, truly, work on understanding yourself. Do self-assessment. Make sure you're self-aware of who you are and whose you are. You want to be the best version of yourself. The best is yourself. I want to make sure we move in the direction of success. We want to get 9, 11, 12, 13 years, 14 years, 15 years. But without you, we cannot do it. So I appreciate every one of y'all supporting us. Again, I got to keep saying that. Our 8th year celebration, our anniversary. God has been good. He's blessed us because this was the vision He placed with me when I was living in South Florida. Something for you to do. And it was hard work and dedication. So everybody take care of themselves. We'll check you out on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Most likely about 6 o'clock tomorrow. We'll talk some sports. I want to say to you, it's been so good being in this place with you. It's been so good. God bless us for 8 years. All of the family that part of the radio, the #1 internet station, all the things, all the guests that's been on here, all the hosts, co-hosts, our technician, our producers, our research team. Thank you all so much. But I want you all to celebrate us, just making sure we recognize what they're doing. So be blessed, be safe, take care of yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow. And I just want to say to you before we play this song, I love you, and everything you do, be safe, be blessed.